This is Joy Rowland, and you are listening to the Joyful Money Podcast. This is episode number 79, Book Publishing for Entrepreneurs with Michelle Vandepas. Welcome to Joyful Money, the podcast where we focus on making money the joyful way. We are done with the stress and anxiety that typically come with making money. We'll feature extraordinary and inspiring business owners who are making a huge impact by sharing their gifts and talents with the world. Pour yourself a cup of coffee or tea and let's go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 79 of the Joyful Money Podcast. My special guest today is Michelle Vandepas. Michelle is a highly accomplished, purpose driven entrepreneur who has achieved multiple seven figures success multiple times in her career. She's the co-founder of GracePoint Publishing. She has helped thousands of authors in her 25 years as a publishing consultant and over 150 books as a publisher. Here is my conversation with Michelle. We have a special guest today. Welcome, everybody, to the Joyful Money podcast. Our special guest is Michelle. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Fantastic. Why don't you start by introducing yourself to the audience? Tell us what you do.
Yeah, I'm a book publisher. I've been in publishing almost 26 years in all different ways, self-publishing, hybrid publishing, a little bit of traditional publishing. And now I own my own publishing company. I've had it almost a decade.
Oh, wow. That's impressive. How did you get into book publishing? How did you choose this business venture?
Yeah, well, life brings us all kinds of twists and turns. I did not choose this business. It definitely chose me. It's not at all
Mm,
what I thought I would be doing. I published a book about marketing almost 26 years ago. I self-published it back in the time when you had to order 10,000 books and put them in your garage, and I still have a few of those in my garage. And in the process, I was coaching and consulting small business owners, holistic entrepreneurs, those kinds of people. And so after I published my book about marketing a small business, I started teaching other small businesses how to use a book to help promote their business, right? So I just took everything I learned and turned around and taught it as part of my consulting and coaching business 26 years ago. And in the process, I just learned more and more. And I spent the next, I don't know, 10 years or so helping authors and small business owners self publish and did a lot of self-publishing with them. And then Amazon at some point came along and we pivoted again and learned how to utilize Amazon and all the things. Um, Amazon, everyone says, oh, it's so easy, just upload to Amazon. Anyone who's done that knows it's very complicated and things go wrong all the time. And so that was a process to learn. And then I opened my own company and started publishing in 2014 as a publishing company.
oh, wow. That's profound. So, like on this podcast, we teach our audience how to build a joyful business, how to build a business they love. And just hearing you talk about this, I can feel this is your passion and you love it. And so tell us how you find business. How do you think people find a niche that resonates with them authentically that they can actually make money doing?
That's an interesting question. I think I might have a slightly different spin on it. I don't think it's necessarily the niche. I think it's how you approach it that aligns with how you best utilize your own strengths and best move forward in the world, regardless of whether
Mhm.
it's family or relationships or business or work or whatever it is. And so for me, you can look at all different kinds of typing, Myers-Briggs or human design or anything you want to, right? But for me, there's some things that carry across from place to place. I like to move pretty quickly. I take a long time to make a decision, but once I make the decision, I'm all in and let's go. So um, people think I make decisions quickly. I don't. I think about it for a very long time. And so some businesses might work well for, and others it might not. But I've been in lots of different niches, before publishing. I was doing a lot of coaching and consulting. I've been in business one way or another for over 40 years. And so, it's always about using your own strengths in whatever business you're in. So I could go and do something else. I have owned Airbnbs, I've owned a restaurant, I've done other things while I've had the publishing company and before. And my internal strengths is what I rely on, regardless of what the niche is, right? So my answer is not to focus so much on the niche, but see what opportunity is opening up to you right now, and then use your passion and your strengths to bring it to that opportunity. Because otherwise, we're just searching for something else. We're just searching all the time. Well, I mean, there are some industries I wouldn't want to be in, probably, right? It's just not my thing. But if I brought my strengths to whatever industry, I would be happier. I would find a way to make it work. So,
Wow. That is profound wisdom. Like finding, like utilizing opportunities that are available to us and then harnessing our inner strength
yeah,
to bring to those opportunities. Like that's profound because many times people spend a lot of time trying to find the perfect business, the
right,
perfect.
right,
So I like what you just said. Exploit opportunities that are right in front of you and then bring your inner strength, your natural abilities to make that opportunity work. That's
right.
profound.
That's what I would say. It's like people who are searching for the perfect place to live, and I've done all of these things myself, right? And there comes a time when you just have to bloom where you're planted because you may or may not have the opportunity to move or find the perfect place to live. So you make where you live perfect, right? You find community where you are. So it's the same mindset.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that, Michelle. So, Michelle, can you tell us how can we build our businesses using self-publishing?
Yeah, so there's two different things. There's self-publishing and there's working with a publisher. And I do both. I own a publishing company, and so we will take your work and publish on your behalf, or you could self-publish. Um, it depends what your goals are, right? So either way, you're going to spend some money editing for a really great cover design, for marketing, doesn't matter which way you go. It's pretty rare for someone to go get a big acquisition type deal and get paid up front. That's pretty rare these days. If you're a big influencer, maybe, because big publishing houses are looking for guaranteed sales, right? But as an entrepreneur and as a small business owner, where I see people really make a lot of money and shine when they publish a book is all the things they can sell on the back end, as they say. So if you have a coaching program, you would sprinkle that into your book and then maybe even give away copies of your book to every client or prospective client or speak about your book. And then people get your book and then they'll hire you for coaching. Having a book sets you up as an expert in your field. It
Mm,
shows that you're knowledgeable about what you do. It shows your thought form and your mindset and why you're thinking about your industry may be different than other people. And so you're putting an energy out there into the world through your book where other people, if they relate to that message, will hire you. People don't always make the money back right away on book sales. That could take a while. But if you're spending, let's just say $10,000 to invest in a book, I'm just throwing that number out. Um, if you have a coaching program, you can make that back pretty quickly. If you have a $3,000 coaching program or $10,000, whatever it might be, you can make that back pretty quickly. And so we always look at what is the person's business? What is the purpose of the book? What are they hoping to do with the book? Like we have one author, we have lots of authors, but one comes to mind, big TikTok star, did a book and then used that to leverage her TikTok and her book to get speaking engagements. And now she speaks all over the country. So there's
Mm.
lots of ways to use a book. It's not always just about book sales.
Oh wow. Okay. That's amazing. So then what's the process? Like what's involved in publishing a book?
Yeah. So start with you have to write, right? And so we work with people all the time who just are not writers. And we have ways to work around that. You know, you can come fly in, or one of our team members can fly to you and interview you and turn that into transcripts and work with you to write your book. So all of that costs money. So it just depends where people are in the process. If they're established entrepreneurs, lots of people want to go ahead and take advantage of that and save the time. Other people are writing their book. So I recommend you come into a book coaching program or one of our writing workshops or something, right? And get your book outlined and written. No matter how you get to that first draft manuscript, whether it's audio, transcription, you know, whether you work with us, whether you write it yourself, hire a ghostwriter, then you have a first draft manuscript. Then you go into developmental editing. Is it in the right order? Does it make sense? Do you need to add chapters? Do you need to add explanations? You go into editing. You're going to do 2 or 3 rounds of editing. You're going to have beta readers, people that don't know you, read the book beside your
Mm.
editor and give further feedback. Going to start working on all what's called the metadata, all the marketing information, who's going to buy the book cover, all the research about how to get it into which libraries and what bookstores. So we start working on all of that. Then, um, then it starts coming together with final editing and proofing and maybe recording the audiobook if you're going to do that. And then the layout and design and typography and bullet points and copyright page and ISBN and Library of Congress and all those things, right? So it's a whole process to go through. Whether you're self-publishing or working with someone like myself, a publisher, you still have to go through those steps. Now, if you only publish on Amazon, you don't have to do an ISBN, but then a bookstore can't pick up your book, right?
Mm.
So it just depends what your goals are.
Oh wow. That's very detailed. So then where does ChatGPT fall into all of this? Because we
Great.
know that ChatGPT helps people write books and
Right.
like where does it fit?
Yeah. So a couple of things. If you use AI to write your book, Amazon's taking all those books down now. So
Mm.
there was a short period of time when everybody was writing books using AI, putting them on Amazon. Amazon's taken down thousands of books. They're taking down all those books. If you have a book that's been written with AI, it will take it down. It won't go up on Amazon. We don't know what that's going to look like in 3 years from now, right? What I recommend using ChatGPT or any AI for, maybe writing prompts, helping you fix a sentence that maybe you're stuck on, or fix a paragraph that you're stuck on to get other ideas. You have to disclose to Amazon. You don't to other places, but right now to Amazon, if you've used any AI at all in the writing of this book. And
Mm.
so they're evaluating that, and they won't accept books if you've used AI. So you have to be really careful where you're going to publish if Amazon's on your list and what you're using the AI for. The other thing is, I can tell, not, I mean, I obviously probably can't tell all the time, but sometimes it's really obvious when something's been written by AI. There are some things you can just tell. I read a lot. I'm like, oh, that's AI. There's no heart in it. There's no personal
Mm.
introspection in it, right? Um, so there's some key things that stand out to me. So I think in time, AI will be a tool. The Copyright Office is, um, they're all over this because you can't copyright something that's been written with AI. And
Mm.
so that's a whole different thing. So I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of legal battles in the future. We don't know where that's going yet. And we don't know exactly where, I don't know exactly where AI is going in publishing yet.
Okay. So then how do you help people decide whether to go with the self-publishing option or using a publisher like yourself?
Yeah, it depends on the goals. If they've got if they want to spend the time to make a really good book, and they're going to spend money on editing, and they're going to spend money to really make it a standout book, they probably should, I hate that word should, but probably should go with a publisher, because publishers have distribution that you can't get as a self-published author, right?
Mm,
And so we can get books into libraries and all those things. I mean, you can to a certain extent as a self-published author, but it's very difficult. And so part of it depends on the goal. Some people are like, I just want a baseline book. I just want a book that I can give away. It doesn't need to be great, just needs to be good. Amazon's good enough, or I don't have the money to do lots and lots of editing. This is what I want to say, and it's perfect. So I'm not saying, good enough books can be good. I want to be
mm,
careful. I'm not saying that always make your book as the best it can be, right? But sometimes people, like I work with a client, she writes lots of books, and she uses them for lead gen for her business. And she just puts out lots of books, and she's not really concerned with making sure they get into bookstores. They're lead gen for her, right? She puts them up on Amazon. So I'll work with a client either way, self-published or publishing, work with lots of clients who self-publish, and we talk it through. I don't think it's something authors always know to make the decision on their own. It's something I like to talk through. I'll guide you, which is the best for you. Sometimes we're like, I had someone, we don't publish, for instance, political books. And so
okay.
I help someone self-publish their political book. So there's some genres we don't publish as well. So that would be, if you're working with us, that would be another reason maybe to self-publish. But every book is different. Every client's different.
Okay. Awesome. So then what's like the typical timeline of working with you as a publisher?
Yeah, after the book is written, we need 3 months probably minimum, maybe a little more, to work with you on editing and getting the book out. Then, because we have distribution, we submit it to bookstores and libraries and everywhere. So it'll go up on pre-sale before it actually gets published. Um, it depends. Some people might hear edits from our editor and decide they want to rewrite something, or our editing team may say this book would really benefit from rewriting chapter 3, as an example. And some authors are really fast on that. We like to have deadlines. We like to say, okay, you've got 3 weeks to turn this around. And some authors just like they can't, right?
Mm,
So that may adjust the timeline a little bit. If we've got a really great book that we're going to New York Times bestseller or whatever like that, we need a year.
okay. So then you also help people to get on the bestseller list?
Yep, we do. We work a lot with marketing and all the different ways to market a book. Bestseller lists, get on podcasts,
Mm,
sometimes traditional media if it makes sense. It kind of depends. There's not a lot of that anymore. But there is still some press releases. It just depends. Yep.
awesome. So I heard you say at the beginning that you also have a coaching program where you coach people how to write, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Can you tell us more about that? Because I
Yes.
think many of the audience might be interested in that.
Yes. So we don't teach how to write. We help people write. It's different. This is not an English class. I find that the way many business people don't want to really learn how to write. They don't have
Mm,
time. It's not their strength. I'm not here. If you want to learn how to write, you probably went to college for writing, or you're
mm,
already learning that. What we teach is to get words out of your head and onto paper, as they say, and how to put
yeah.
together a first draft manuscript. And so it's a monthly membership fee. I think it's $245 right now. And you come in and we have writing sessions together, and you can get on calls with editors and whatnot and work towards your book.
Oh,
But it's
wow.
not, we're not teaching like how to, it's not middle school English.
Okay, that's amazing. So if we can get the links to that, I think that'll be very helpful. So I can add that to the show notes.
Sure.
And I think the monthly fee is very reasonable.
Yeah.
And
We have a lot of people come in on that and get their books published. Yep.
oh, wow. So people come in just on the coaching program and get their books published.
Well, they come in and then they work through the next step. So that's the
Okay.
first step. And then they have to pay for editing or go find an editor, but we'll help them with what the next steps might be for them. But this gets you to first draft manuscript.
Oh, wow. And that's a huge milestone,
That's
right?
the biggest one. That's the hardest one to get to. Yeah.
Awesome. So I know you've graciously offered us your 25 essential publisher services every author should know. So
Yeah.
thank you for that. Uh,
Yeah. It's a free ebook that takes you through. If you're thinking about publishing, these are 25 things to think about that most people don't think about. Like, could your book maybe get translated and sold in Germany or Spain? Like most people don't think really about that. And so these are just questions to ask. Not every book needs all 25 of these, but they're things to think about.
Okay. And just on the point you touched about earlier, you talked about audiobook. Like, what's the process of getting one's book on Audible, for example?
Yeah. So number one, you have to have a finished book. It has to be proofread. Don't try to do your book before it's proofread, or you'll read it and you'll realize there's errors in your book. So you got to get the book to the very best you can get it to. Then if you work with us, we send you the microphone, we send you all the equipment, you work with our audio engineer, record through a special software we have, and then we do all the editing and upload it. If you're going to do it on your own, you're going to go through the same steps. Either find an audio place to work through, or just make sure you have really good audio at your house set up or wherever you are. And you're going to follow the specific guidelines that Audible sets out about how to break it up into chapters and all of those things and what kind of sound you need. And then it just goes through the editing process and gets uploaded.
Yeah, I think that's a good one because the way life is going, I think many people just find it very convenient to just listen to a book on Audible. So I think that's a very good thing for authors to think about, to have that as an additional when you publish. I think that's a
Absolutely. And we work with authors who publish their book and then come to us and just do the Audible with us. Yeah.
oh, wow, amazing. Thank you very much, Michelle. Is there any last words you have for our audience?
Well, I think a lot of people think about writing their book. And if you're thinking about it, I would suggest that you just start writing, reach out for help and support if you
Mhm.
need it, but don't put it off. Don't think about someday. I don't have time. I'm not ready, whatever all that chatter is in your head. If you would like to write a book, just start writing.
Yeah, amazing. I love that so much. Thank you so much, Michelle. It's been so wonderful having you and your amazing wisdom on the podcast. And listeners, I'll have all of the show notes, all of the links in the show notes. Michelle, can you tell us where can people reach you?
And the easiest is at the author path, PATH.com. That links to my publishing. It leads to my private coaching, but you can get the free ebook there, and it's easy to find me there. So thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Michelle. Hey, very quickly before you go, if this podcast inspired or encouraged you in any way, please leave us a review on Apple Podcast and share this with a friend. It means a lot to us, and we appreciate your kindness and generosity in doing this. We'll see you back here on the next episode. Bye bye.